So, I was going through my Steam catalog, thinking of the next game to make content on. There's quite a lot of games, so I decided to check out some older games, and I came across my list of Tomb Raider games. Now, I have most of them, and I've played some of the early ones back in the late 90s, but I wanted to give that another shot. So I loaded up the wiki to get some info about it and see if there's any other modern fixes that I might miss out. So while searching the wiki, I came across a link for Tomb Raider: The Dagger of Qian. I think that's how it's pronounced. Now, I've never heard of this before, so after checking it out, I realized it is a fan-made remaster of the first level of Tomb Raider 2, all of which was done in Unreal Engine, so you know it'll look pretty damn good. So after looking at some of the pictures, I just had to see if this was legit, and I can confidently say that this remaster is legit. It is honestly so incredibly well made that this could easily be passed off as a AAA release. And you know what's crazy? That this was made mostly by one person, and I just can't wrap my head around that. So as I said, this was made in Unreal Engine by someone who goes by the tag NicoBase. I've linked his YouTube and Twitter in the description below, and I have to say, this is one of the most authentic remasters I have ever seen. So let's just get right into it. So you can download the demo from NicoBase's website. I'll leave a link in the description down below. The download is about 2 gigabytes, and the demo took me roughly 1.5 hours to complete fully. So once you've installed the demo, you can pretty much immediately see how good the game looks. The game uses a very familiar Lara Croft look, which is similar to the Lara Croft from the Underworld game, or from all of the promotional material from back in the day. Now, I'm not exactly sure if Nico made it himself or if he reused some assets from somewhere else. I don't really know. The game comes with a plethora of options and settings to go through. It also has a small little rewards section where he's included some alternative outfits for Lara, which kinda leads me to believe that he made the 3D model himself. I'm not really sure, but anyways, I just stuck with the default one. It also has a 3D model viewer as well, which is honestly pretty awesome, so feel free to go and check it out. So basically, once you start, there is a cinematic that plays which is very familiar or somewhat reminiscent of the cinematic from the original game. And I have to admit, the animation work done here is legitimately incredible. At no point did I feel that the animations, whether it was in the cinematics or even in the gameplay, felt robotic or cheap. The animations themselves feel so true to the source material. It almost feels as if he took the original game, like the very game itself, added it into Unreal Engine and basically fixed it up, or just improved it in every single way, while still keeping the original sort of feel of the game exactly the same. It's difficult for me to describe it. You just have to play the original one of course, and play the remaster to get a feel for what I mean. Now, speaking of source material, the starting of the demo is also very true to the original, where you're dropped off by a helicopter and you slide into a massive cave, which is honestly a great touch. So once you actually take control, you can already see how beautiful this game looks. And obviously that's thanks to Unreal Engine being a damn good engine. You can also go into the water and basically swim around if you have to, or you can even dive in, and you'll see a small little bar on the top left which shows how much air you have left. So as you get out of the water, Lara will have this sort of wet look on her, and you can see these little droplets of water dripping off of her. Or if you sort of roll around in the dirt or go near the foliage, she'll have this sort of dirt look. So already there's a lot of attention to detail. So the game also comes with a fully working photo mode if you're into that sort of virtual photography type thing. And again, this was made by one person. I just can't get over it. So basically, once you're in the cave, you're literally all on your own. You have to figure out where you have to go by observing your environment. The game will not tell you whatsoever where you have to go. And by that I mean that there is no UI element to tell you where to go. However, there is a bit of an identifier to let you know that which ledges can be climbed. The ledge will have this sort of dripping paint look on it. So if you see it, that's where you have to jump to. But sometimes they're not that easy to spot. Now, speaking of attention to detail again, a lot of people won't know this, but in the original game, Lara could do this sort of special pull-up move if you were hanging off of a ledge. It honestly gave no benefit whatsoever. It was mostly a show-off thing, but this demo also has that as well. You only need to press shift and spacebar and she'll do the exact same pull-up animation. It's honestly so cool that he put this much detail into the game, because if I made this remaster, I would have most certainly forgot about this little show-off mechanic. Moving on, we know that Tomb Raider games have always been known for their heavy focus on platforming and especially puzzles. That's what the game is all about, and this demo is of course no different. The demo takes place on the Great Wall of China, and as you climb out of the cave and onto the Great Wall of China, and obviously once you get out of the first main room, you'll basically be met with these beautiful vistas that are honestly just breathtaking. You'll also have some minor combat encounters as well as you keep moving on. So for the combat encounters, you'll have mostly wildlife to shoot, and just like in the original where you were upon the Great Wall of China, you'll have to shoot some crows that are trying to attack you. And honestly, I have to say, I just find the combat, including the way the camera locks on to the enemy, the way the Lara auto aims at the enemies, just the entire feel of the combat itself just feels so authentic to the original game, but it genuinely feels improved at the same time. It's not like where you, in the original game, where if you try to move, it felt like you were moving on a grid, just a X and Y grid. In this game, you just have free movement, so it doesn't feel that sort of limited. And the movement is quick and responsive, and shooting the guns and also reloading is also the same, it's just snappy. Now for the combat, you have two weapons. First is of course her iconic dual pistols, which also has unlimited ammo, and the other is her shotgun, which does not have unlimited ammo, but you can find ammo scattered across the demo. Now this shotgun will come in handy when you face the tigers, but I'll leave that up to you. You also have a few other consumables, like 3 different kinds of health packs, and to use them you simply press B on the keyboard and it will automatically use one up. You can find more health packs laying on the ground or just hidden across certain secret areas. But you really have to be very vigilant as these pickups are just not easy to find. There is no visual identifier to let you know that there is an object that can be picked up unless you're standing literally right on top of it, so I do appreciate the sort of old school type mechanic of this demo. So you also have a few flares that help when you're going through dark areas. You can also drop the flare and pick it back up again, which is actually pretty awesome because I don't think in the original game you could do that. I could be wrong though, I haven't played that game in like 20 years. So for the puzzles themselves are kinda difficult, not really that difficult, especially the early ones, but it will take you some time to figure them out. But you can always check her journal, which is in her inventory, which you can pull up by pressing tab on the keyboard, and this journal will give you a slight clue on what to do and basically where to go. And the awesome thing is that it is voice acted, and honestly the voice is actually really good. It has that authentic British accent to it.
One of the 2 mechanisms to open the door is destroyed. However, those beams don't look solid. Perhaps my weight would be enough to unblock the mechanism.
And once you come across this room, well, have fun figuring this one out because this one took me the longest amount of time. But once I got it, it honestly felt incredible to figure it out all on my own. So apart from all of the platforming and the puzzles, there are also some secret items hidden throughout the level. They could either be journals of people that died or these sort of dragon statues. Again, you have to be very vigilant because you won't know if an item is interactable until you're right on top of it. So the demo only has the first mission, and the last update on his website is from August 2017, which is when he made this demo public. But after looking around Nico's socials, he released a video on his channel about 9 months ago where he's working on the vehicle section within Croft Manor. And you can actually see that the entire map is more or less finished and it just looks freaking amazing. So I'm glad that he is still working on the project, albeit at his own pace. And I really hope that Crystal Dynamics and Square Enix don't shut this project down. In fact, I actually hope that this guy gets the support that he needs from these developers and they actually come up with a way to actually make this a proper product, because honestly he definitely deserves the amount of attention. The demo also comes with its own Tomb Raider inspired music, which was created by someone named Dean Copri. I'll leave a link to his channel in the description as well. Just have a go and have a listen. And anyways, let me know in the comments below if you guys try it out, and let me know what you think. If you want to see my playthrough, I'll upload that on my channel. Go and feel free to check it out. And as always, I will see you in the next video.